This is interesting. So people are freaking out about tariffs. People are freaking out about, the loss. We did a story on it, I think, last week. Ferrari said, hey, we're going to tax your cars 10% because of the whole thing that Trump did. And we went, no, 10% more for Ferraris. What a shock. Of course, they said, oh, all your cars are going to go up 10%, which people like me who are not stupid said, have you seen the prices of cars on parking lots? There's a lot of 2023s sitting on parking lots right now because they're overvalued. Have you looked at a Dodge lately? A 6-cylinder Dodge Ram? Have you looked at a Chevy truck? Have you looked at the Ford Broncos? Have you looked at the only vehicles that are selling well are cheap Nissans, Toyotas, because people will still pay for them, and like the Ford Maverick, that stupid little truck, because it's around $30,000. Everything else is overpriced. It's been overpriced since COVID. Yeah, Jeeps are nuts. Jeeps are absolutely insane. People are like, Jeeps used to be an inexpensive alternative because you knew it was going to be in the shop 90% of the time. Now you have to buy it and put the stupid ducks on it. But yeah, you're right, Mark. There are some pickup trucks like the Raptors. The Raptors that used to have the nice big V8 engine, those were like 79, I think. Don't quote me on that. Now the crappy V6 turbos are like 120,000. And they're like, oh, it's going to take 10% more on your car. Okay. Considering how much money they are now, that's a little insane. I mean, what's 10% more? But Ford came out today. Ford Motor Company is going to offer employee pricing to all U.S. customers. Really? And if you think this is just a headline, you can listen to the guys from Ford say it themselves.
A month, we're going to offer our customers the same deal that our employees get. And as you say, that's worth thousands of dollars. You come into our store, you get employee pricing. This is kind of to call a little bit of a timeout. We've heard some uncertainty from our customers, and we want them to be assured that Ford, the most American auto company, is going to do right by them, as are our dealers. We make the most cars here. We employ the most. We export the most. And so we here at Ford, we're in a good position to address customers' concern and give them a really great deal on a great vehicle.
So that's great.
So there you go. And this is what, I wish there was American quality. And I like how they say the most American made. They ship their parts in from China. They build them in Mexico or in Canada, and then they import them into the U.S. So, Ford's trying to move inventory. And from a business perspective, I like it. I think it's a smart idea to kind of capitalize on people's fears. Like, hey, I know everybody thinks prices are going to go up. We're going to take care of you. And that may bring some people in. Now, the Ford vehicles are still way overpriced, but at least it's a counter narrative to the left's fear tactics of, well, everything's going to be more expensive and your life is going to be over and everybody's going to hate you and it's terrible. It's like, well, this crappy car company says they're going to give you some incentives to move some vehicles. And this is what people were arguing. Now, I'm not trying to get indoctrinated into the church of Trump, but I'm just saying that this is how the market usually responds to this kind of stuff, right? This is how the market responds if it's allowed to. Now, I'm not a capitalist by any means. I know some people are like, I'm a capitalist. I'm actually not, because capitalism and socialism are kind of two sides of the same coin. I know some people get triggered when I say that, but they can't. There's a lot of similarities between socialism and capitalism that nobody likes to talk about. But it is currently one of the better systems we have in place. And if it's left alone, truly, it can do some good things. Now, of course, every system, because we live in a fallen world, right? After Adam and Eve in the fall, nothing is perfect and nothing is going to be 100%. But the fact is, look, this company said people are nervous. We're out here to reassure you, don't be nervous. We're going to do what we can. We'll absorb the tariff a little bit because we can, and we're not going to pass it on to you. And that's a nice trend to see being set go forward for found on road dead. Fixed or repaired daily, found on road dead. I used to be a huge Ford guy when I was in my 20s. Because, you know, when you're younger, you don't really have like allegiances to anything. So you kind of pick brands. Like, I'm a Ford guy, or I'm a this guy, or I'm a that guy, you know, because you're trying to find your identity. So yeah, I was a big Ford racing guy. I was a big fan of Carl Edwards. I was big into NASCAR for like, I don't know, 8 years. About 8 years, I was big into NASCAR. I was a huge fan of Carl Edwards, and then he kind of just retired. He's like, yeah, I'm done. And you know, I didn't really like anybody else. Now, you know, Bubba Wallace. I'm sorry, I don't like, not because he's black, but because he's a race baiter. I don't have time for race baiting in sports. I don't, and I don't want it. And so I haven't watched NASCAR in a long time. But I was a big Ford racing guy when I was into NASCAR. Now I am a Honda guy because I don't like extra parts and extra things and extra maintenance issues on my cars. So it is what it is. I'm telling you, man, when I used to work on the radio station, my audience used to just waylay me for driving the ugliest Honda Ridgeline truck on the planet. And the Honda Ridgeline was not a looker in my 2011, but that thing was a tank. And I wish, you know, these are the situations I wish my dad was around for. You know, my dad's been gone for almost 15 years, but you know, my car was still drivable after the hailstorm, and they offered me like $8,000. You know how they can either buy it from you or they can take it out. They offered me like $8,000 for it. I should have taken that and kept the truck. Just fix the windshield. I didn't care. It looked like it went through Bosnia. I don't care. It was the engine still ran. And I had 150,000 miles on it. Man, I love that stupid thing. I miss it. But newer cars, whether it's a new Ford, whether it's a new Chevy, whether it's a new Toyota, they all have issues. It's because of the EPA regulations. And that's another reason why people are not buying new cars. They're overpriced and they're not great reliability wise. They're just not good vehicles every time. Don't think of me, man. Think of my Ridgeline, right? It's out there. I know. I miss it. It was a good vehicle. It did everything I asked of it. When I bought the house that I'm currently sitting in, we replaced the floor with vinyl. I think it is vinyl flooring or whatever the case may be. I transferred my house I think it's around 2,400 square feet, something like that. Don't quote me. I carried all 2,400 square, the whole package, put it in the back of the Ridgeline. The tires were on the frame, but it got me home. It did what I needed it to do. But focusing back here, Ford is responding to the tariffs. Expect other companies to respond to the tariffs. And I don't think it's going to be as bad. The short term is going to be tough, and Americans are not used to difficult circumstances. They're not used to any kind of uncomfort or inconvenience. So we're going to see how this works going forward.